Over the past few weeks, the topic of violence against women and fighting for urgent changes across the board has never been more prevalent. Here at Weekend Sunrise, we wanted to shine a light on the good that is being done in this space by some incredible Australians. And that includes the team at RElove.
They take donations of old, unwanted furniture and household items from corporations and then help rebuild homes for women and children escaping domestic violence. And you can help.
When I see you light shine,
Having a home is a critical piece of healing, so they get to choose how they want to live.
A community of unconditional love for those escaping their darkest times.
We are working with around 20 families every week. They get to shop for free for everything that they need to set up their home. We have provided this service by rescuing furniture at scale from corporate relocations and from hotels. Come on in. This is our homeware section. All the beautiful sheets, doonas. This is the moment where people are pretty emotional. We make up kitchen starter sets, and a lot of this stuff is coming out of the hotels. So this is where it gets pretty exciting. Sleep, live, dine, eat and homewares section. You can choose your kettles, your toasters, and here is the microwaves and fridges. We've got washing machines and dryers.
Through countless hours by volunteers.
Within 24 to 48 hours max from the time they walk in our door, they are sleeping safely in a bed. We had this one client come through, and by the time her baby came home from daycare, there was a whole home. And she sent me a film of her child coming home, opening the door and saying, "Look, darling, we have a home."
Oh, it is such a great service. And joining us now is RElove co-founder Ren Fernando and also Maddie, who escaped a DV relationship. A very good morning to you both. Thank you very much for coming in. Maddie, if I could just ask you, just in terms of this service, give us a sense of how RElove has, I guess it's not overstating it to say it's changed your life.
Yeah, it's changed dramatically. If I didn't have RElove in the picture, I wouldn't be where I am today. I didn't have the money to be able to go out and afford to buy new furniture, set up a whole new home for myself and 2 kids. So it was very different.
And were you pregnant at the time?
Yeah, I was pregnant with my second at the time when I first met Ren and Ben. Yeah.
And we hear, sorry.
No, Maddie, that uncertainty in that moment, you know, not even knowing if you've got things to put in a house, knowing if you've got a house. Like, what was that trauma of that moment like for you? It must have just been so scary.
Well, trying to go through the housing system is an absolute joke. It's a broken system. It doesn't work. It's very backwards, and you constantly find yourself running around in circles trying to find the right person to speak to. And trying to get some answers as to what's going on, where can you go, because they don't know. There's not enough housing. There is nothing there. So when you're trying to get something, it's like, well, do I deserve it or does somebody else deserve it? And it comes down to what do you know and where do you go?
And for people who look at women in your situation and think, why didn't they just leave? Not having anywhere to go is the problem, isn't it? How much of a difference would it have made if you didn't have a service like this?
Oh, huge. Like, you don't have the money to just fork out. Like, and at the time I wasn't working. I had lost my job in the last COVID lockdown. So trying to prepare for everything was just, it wasn't working. It just, you had no services. They tell you that they've got all these services available, but they are so hard to get in contact with or so hard to be able to get some help from them.
Ren, I'm really interested in your perspective in this space because you're doing such great work. I mean, what you're able to provide people in this space is so vital. So the government has promised $925 million towards creating safer times and safer places for women, however that might take place and look like. What do you think needs to be done?
Oh, look, I think, you know, we already have a $5,000 government payment. It's really difficult to get. That's one thing. There's a lot of administration and red tape that go into actually even receiving that package.
How long would it take someone applying to actually get that
look,
money?
So we have clients that don't even get it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that their situation should warrant it. And they come to us, you know, and even if you've got the $5,000, only $1,500 is allowed to be used for furniture and homewares. you know, that's just not enough to set up a home, and it's a critical piece of the puzzle. You know, we know that there's problems with housing, but even if you get housing, you can't be sleeping on the floor. You know, this is one of the biggest factors. You know, on average, a woman returns to a violent partner 8 times. And one of the biggest factors is the fact that women their real choice is between living in fear or experiencing poverty. And, you know, a roof over your head's not a home. You know, we give people $10,000 to $15,000 worth of material aid every time we move them. And, you know, we're not asking the government to do that. What we're asking the government to think about is to actually fund the services that are doing the work. You know, there are people that are currently addressing these issues and they're not funded. We are not funded by the government. We're moving 20 families a week, and around 15 of those have been directly impacted by domestic violence every single week.
That gives you a sense of the scale of the problem. Ren, Maddie, really grateful for you coming on and talking to us today and sharing your story, Maddie. Keep up the great work, Ren. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.